Hey St. Matthew and Facebook friends, welcome to another Point from the Park. We are out at Sullivan Park today, and I know we've already been to Sullivan Park, but that was back before I started doing some histories on the park, and I found some interesting history on Sullivan Park. It was farmed. This whole land was farmed by John and Margaret Sullivan back years and years ago, and it was a big farm. It was bordered on the east by a little gravel road that would become known as Central Avenue, and a little gravel road on the west that would be known as University Avenue. So it was a big park, and they farmed it for many years. The original farmhouse is still standing. It's at 5037 Madison, if you'd like to drive by and look at that. But over time, most of this land was developed and built into neighborhoods, but they kept this part undeveloped and named it Sullivan Park. And it has a pond, it has a beautiful walking trail, it has tennis courts and a pavilion, a picnic area, and a playground. Come out and enjoy Sullivan Park. We're out here today to read our Psalm of the week, which is Psalm 8. Let me read that to you now. I'm in the English Standard Version. The opening of the psalm we know from a contemporary Christian song. It says, "O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You've set your glory above the heavens. Out of the mouth of babies and infants, you have established strength because of your foes, to still the enemy and the avenger. When I look at the heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you've set in place, what is man that you're mindful of him, the son of man that you care for him? Yet you've made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor. You've given him dominion over the works of your hands. You've put all things under his feet, all sheep and oxen, all the beasts of the field, the birds of the heavens and the fish of the sea, whatever passes along the paths of the sea. O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth." We know that in the Old Testament, the people of the Old Testament would use the Psalms in worship. That's what they would sing during worship. And the Bible scholars tell us that this was a psalm that they would sing at night during evening worship. And they say that because of the reference to the moon and the stars. One of the things that the psalm points out is just how big the heavens are and how small humanity is compared to it. Let me read part of it from a modern version called The Message. "I look up at your macro skies, dark and enormous, your handmade sky jewelry, moon and stars mounted in their settings. Then I look at my micro self and wonder, why do you bother with us? Why take a second look our way?" You know, so true, so true. The universe is so big, and we are just little specks in the universe. But to God, these little specks are important. All of them are important, whether it's a big famous person, whether it's a martyr, or whether it's just you and I. We are important to God. And God has, words of the psalm, given us dominion. He's put us in charge of his creation. He wants us to take care of his creation. Not just take care of it so we can enjoy it, not just take care of it for our children or our children's children, but take care of it for him. Take care of it for God. He's put it into our hands. That's a good point from the park for us today as we're out in nature. God has given us all of this to protect and to take care of. I don't want to end today without saying something about my shirt. It's a brand new shirt. I love my shirt. It was given to me by a member of St. Matthew. And I actually, I was talking, I think it was Mother's Day weekend. We were talking in church about how everything was going to be different, you know, because of coronavirus then is all we were talking about, and quarantine and isolation at home. And when we do get to come back to church, when it's safe for our community, safe for us, our members, we will return to church, but it will be different. You know, things will be different. And I was reminded of that scene in the show The Chosen, where Jesus is talking to his disciple Peter, and Peter is complaining about the calling of Matthew the tax collector as a disciple. Tax collectors were the scourge of society. They were immoral. They stole. Everybody looked down on them. And Peter's complaining, and Jesus reminds Peter that he wasn't the ideal candidate either. And Peter looks at Jesus and says, "Yeah, but that's different. That's different. Matthew's a tax collector." And Jesus just looks at Peter and quietly says, "Get used to different. Get used to different." What a great motto for the year 2020. You know, get used to different. What a great motto for the church. You know, we have to find new ways to be the people of God and take that love of God and that justice of God and share it with people, make it manifest in new ways. I mentioned in the sermon that someone had turned "Get Used to Different" into a t-shirt, and one of our lovely members went out and had a t-shirt made for me. So this is your video thank you note for giving me the t-shirt. One more point about the Psalms. One of the things I love about the Psalms is that they focus a lot more on our looking and our listening than on our talking. And I think the church has been known for our talking. And we're in a time now where we need to be a people who are different, and that we spend more time looking and listening than we do talking. So that's 2 points from the park today. I'll be with you next week as we look at Psalm 100. God's blessing to all of you.